What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to VV Vibes, where I love talking all things VV NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So today we actually got a 3-in-1 video. Typically I don't do these, but originally I was just going to talk about that obvious and a very apparent botting problem that is happening on VV. This most recent drop, it is very obvious that we have a huge botting issue. VV even made an official tweet, or I should say tweet thread about it, so we're going to be covering that briefly. Also, we have a new Mickey drop coming on Saturday. It's something like marching in band or something in band. I looked at the tweet briefly, but we'll cover it here in the video. And also talking about HRO. I did invest a little bit in HRO, got a couple packs. We'll talk about that more towards the very end, so if you're not interested, you could just skip or end the video or whatever it is once we get to that point. But yeah, there's a lot of people on VV right now that like HRO. Looked into it. There's a couple things I liked. I didn't throw too much money at it, didn't want to overextend myself, but I have enjoyed the platform thus far. So before going on, if you guys would love to follow me on VV, please. Fastos 9.9999 million. I do think followers and stuff are going to be an important thing later on in the future, especially if we talk about the metaverse. And on top of that, I typically do at least a post, if not every other day, just talking about generic things on the platform or jokes. I post memes and stuff like that occasionally as well, so it's all good fun. And if you guys do want to donate NFTs or gems or whatever to help me out, well, we can't do gems anymore, but people sometimes do donate NFTs to help me for the giveaways or just me personally. I really appreciate that. Again, there's my QR code there in the to the left. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. And I'm actually going to pull this up. I don't know why my little screen record thing from my phone keeps crashing, but I just want to show it off just a little bit. But this is actually me screen recording the drop, like literally the first couple minutes of the market of this drop. You could just see a lot of the names are typically blocked accounts. You can just see a lot of the names are just blocked accounts, huge sell walls, like very little names. So I eventually do go through and click at some of them, and you can just see the mass amount of blocked accounts. But again, my screen record thing is being weird. Regardless, I'm gonna link this whole tweet down in the description below so you guys can check it out yourself. But long story short, it just says, VV says, you know, hey, we're always making improvements to our security measures to keep things running as smoothly as possible for our users, but sometimes we find ourselves on our heels in this grand game of, you know, whack-a-mole and all that stuff. Look forward to measures overall like KYC, drop wait list, all that stuff. It did seem like, honestly, for quite some time, like VV knew there was a huge botting issue. I think they were just kind of hoping that, like, all right, hopefully just KYC and or Q system will get here soon enough and they'll be able to take care of this botting issue. But right now we're just gonna just say we're taking care of bots and all that stuff. And in my personal opinion, I think this kind of reminds me of a video game I played called EVE Online, where there is like a police force. You can kind of get attacked in your ship at any point. Long story short is, like, the police or the ships that are there to protect you, they're not actually there to protect you. They're just there to punish the criminals. So they're not there to actually prevent crime. They're just there to punish people that have committed the crime. And so it's the same thing that we're seeing here. It seems like the current setup that VV has with whatever company, whatever outsourced company that's actually dealing with this bot issue, you know, they're punishing bots. That's great. Like, hey, we're banning bots, we're doing all this stuff. Like, okay, cool. But most of the time, by the time you ban the bot, it's already won the NFT. It's already traded it to a different account. It's already sold that NFT on the market. It's gotten the gems. And by the time that bot has been banned, that account hasn't been active probably since a few drops prior, and the person have already made a new drop. Like, I feel like a lot of the bots have already they make new accounts every single drop. Like, why run the risk of having the same bot for multiple drops, and it gets banned, and it also has some assets on there like gems and other NFTs. What you typically do is just you run the bot, you win the drop, you trade it, you get it off that account as fast as possible, you sell it, you get the gems, and then you're done. You make a brand new account almost as if that account, that original account that won the drop, never existed. So it seems like the current system they have is like, all right, let's punish bots, but it's like, no, we need to prevent bots. We need to prevent them from even either getting on the platform, or we need some sort of, like they said, KYC, which again won't stop people from botting, but it's going to make it much more difficult. And eventually when we get to the point where we get a drop wait list set, again, it's not going to get rid of botting. The botting is just going to be different, where instead of people having 10 phones when they're botting and they're winning 9 out of 10, they're just going to have 50 phones, and they're just going to play the odds, right? At that point, it's just a number of who has the most phones. So it's a lot has been said here in this thread, but I'm going to go ahead and link that down in the description below. You guys can check it out yourself for the most part, but I couldn't help myself. I did have a bit of fun posting this meme where it says new users on VV. Essentially, they're all bots. Of course, this person in the second from the right says this account is private. A lot of people liked it. Dino even posted at VV Official at it. So I had a bit of fun on that. It was just very apparent what was going on. I could have sworn someone mentioned too that, like, Alex G made like a tweet saying that he agreed that you know, this whole botting issue is kind of getting out of hand. We need to get KYC as soon as possible. I looked all over his Twitter page and I could not find it. That's one thing I'm terrible at, is like finding very specific tweets that people tweet out. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter personally, so like if I'm trying to like dig up a specific tweet, I just can't find it. Next thing, the new series of the Disney Mickey Mouse NFT collection celebrates the first ever Mickey short film produced in Technicolor. Walt Disney Animation Studios, the band concerts, that's what it's called, the band concert. Not a huge fan of like how this looks, to be quite honest. I don't know if this is supposed to be like an exact replica of what it looked like in the show. I've never seen the band concert. Maybe I probably should have done a Google search before we got here to say like, oh, okay, it's supposed to look true to life as to how it looked like in the movie or like in the show or whatever it is. So it says 3 editions of Band Leader Mickey drops Saturday, April 2nd at 8 a.m. in blind box format. So curious how they do this. I can't really give you a price prediction. I do think it's going to mirror the pricing a bit of Steamboat Willie. I don't think this is going to be as expensive as Steamboat Willie across the board, where they're comparing the common to the common, the uncommon to the uncommon, ultra rare to ultra rare. So I do think they're going to follow the same formula. They're going to have a common, an uncommon, and an ultra rare. They did confirm, if you scroll down here a little bit, so no tags on this, no FA, no FE. That's very, very, very obvious. Someone also mentioned too, like, hey, will this have music? And they did say that the ultra rare does have music and sound. If I can scroll down here far enough. Okay, yeah, it says, does it come with music? And they said the ultra rare does, yes. So a little bit of insight into that. That's very cool. I'm not sure if it has an animation, so it does have music, but if it had a cool little animation where it's like moving his hands, that would be cool as well. But I'm not entirely sure how the pricing is going to work out until we actually get the Medium article. We actually get to see the mints, the rarities as well. I assume it's probably going to be either similar or almost identical to Steamboat Willie, I would imagine. If that's the case, you know, because that's one way to not so much combat the bots. I think that's a terrible way to combat bots, which is just like increase the amount of mint numbers so people are actually winning and less people are complaining about bots, because that's also just going to affect the NFT itself. But we'll see. I'm kind of curious how this plays out. You know, people are still upset, like, hey, why are you dropping drops? Like, I'm actually completely fine that Vivi keeps dropping NFTs. Like, they want to have NFTs on the shelves when there's a point later this year, early next year, where there's just a massive amount of people jumping on the app. Lots of people that love Disney, they love Marvel, they love DC. They want to make sure they have as many NFTs as possible on the app that's going on. And again, this is causing another gem squeeze. Again, I've been telling people for the last 3 weeks, people are like, hey, I have 100 gems, what should I buy? Or I have 1,000 gems or 10,000 gems. I'm like, dude, I would just wait. Like, there's still just more drops happening. There's more squeezing of the gems like, people are still just undercutting. People are always going to want to sell their old stuff or the new stuff. So as long as there's just like, as long as there's Disney and Marvel drops happening, until we get MTL, until we get Q System, until we get KYC, until we get a lot of this stuff, I do think we won't see the previous highs that we saw back in like January, February, until we get like Omi to NFT. Like, to be honest, like, have Steamboat Willie hit up to 10K again, the ultra rare, it probably won't be till Omi to NFT again, which is later this year, if not early next year. So, not to be, you know, the doomsayer and all that stuff, I do think there's going to be a lot of activity on the market here and there. But yeah, so now on to HRO, if you guys obviously can't tell. So I actually ended up buying 2 packs. So I go to my packs. I actually have 2 packs here on the right side. Now, I'll be honest, like, I really, really like the way this market is laid out. A couple, you know, there's a few things that they could kind of fix up right now. So there's the NFTs that come in the physical card boxes. So some people have already gotten the card boxes. They scan their NFT, they put it on the platform. You can buy them on the market. But this new series, which is called the Batman Universe card set. So in order to find those like on the market, you have to go to card type, and then there's the common, uncommon, epic, and all that stuff. And with these packs, there was 10,000 and like 60 packs or something like that. Yeah, 10,060 total packs. Each pack had 3 NFTs, and one of them had a Batman Universe collection with a 1-of-1 mythic available. Someone told me that the 1-of-1 mythic has already been unboxed, or it's already been found. So for me, as of right now, I'm probably just gonna hold on to these boxes for the long term for the most part. I have actually been, I know I've been referencing a lot of other video games here, but I used to play TF2 a lot. I used to do hat trading, and that has, in a way, that's almost exactly like an NFT. It has a code. It has a code on the back end. It shows you who traded who. What's the history? It has a lot of stuff. It's almost like its own kind of like blockchain in a weird way. So in a weird way, like, NFTs have already existed, like digital assets and trading, and people want ownership and histories and all that stuff in a way to track it. That thing has been happening for like nearly 10 years now on TF2 when it comes to like hat trading and stuff. Regardless, Valve used to give out these crates for just playing the game. You would get these boxes that you would use a key to open it. The keys cost like $2.50. and you'd open the crate and all that stuff. So every new season, they would give out a bunch of free crates, and the more you play, the more crates you would kind of earn. And the original crates in the game were just free. So, but because it was so early in the game, not a lot of people played. There wasn't a ton of crates. People opened them, and like those crates had like very original hats, very original effects, and those are very, very sought after. So now those crates that were free like 9-10 years ago, like now they're worth like $20 or $30, which in the grand scheme of things, like, okay, it's only $20 or $30, it's not that much, but times it by some people that do have 20 or 30 crates, like that money starts really adding up. So I'm kind of having the same thoughts here, where it's a bit different because with the crates, you didn't know how many actually existed. It was almost like, all right, these super high tier hats with these super high tier effects, like there could technically be 10 or 15 or, you know, however many more on the app. But with this, because there's only a certain amount per rarity, I'm not sure if that will play out the exact same with these packs. Even if all the super high tier cards were found, I do think there are going to be people out there that do want to buy a pack just for the novelty. Hey, I want to buy one of the most vintage first release packs on HRO, and I never want to open it. Like all the ones that have been opened, you know, I just want to keep one for myself personally, and I never want to open it. That could be an aspect as well. Plus, I do think the actual pricing of the card pack itself is going to be directly correlated with your chance of winning some of the legendaries. The mythic was already found, but some of the legendaries as well as some of the epics as well. So if there's still a certain amount of epics left to be found, or certain low mint ones or whatever, people are saying, I would assume people would think, all right, well, there's only 1,000 packs left. It's got to be in one of these 1,000 packs. So that kind of adjusts how much the packs are worth. Very similar to the most vintage or like first edition packs with like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. It's more, the price is more directly correlated with like the hot, like there's a chance that the most expensive card is in the pack, and less so everything else. So yeah, I really like the market. It's very intuitive. There's actually been a handful of other VV content creators that have touched upon this site, but the site is just very intuitive. The tools are very smartly laid out. I love how easy it is for the certain search functions. After you kind of learn it initially, like I had no idea what I was doing, but there is a cash out feature too as well. So whatever stuff you win, as of right now, the packs are actually being sold for about, so I bought 2 for $50 each. Right now the packs are going for about $180. So in my mind, I'm like, gosh, I should have just bought 10. I could have sold quite a few of them. I could have bought 10 packs, sold 2 or 3 of them on the market, and just made my money back. But no one knew that in hindsight for the most part. But there is a cash out feature here in the top right. There is a deposit and a withdrawal, a history. You can also export your NFTs or your cards onto Immutable X as well to buy OMI, buy Ethereum, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know too much about HRO. I got 2 packs. I'm happy with that. The packs right now are probably a little bit too expensive for me to chase after them at this price now, but I'm just going to hold the 2 I have probably very, very long term. And I might do a little bit more on HRO. I just have to get more information. But these packs that they release that are just strictly digitally is like a once a month thing. So it's not something I'll probably be covering too often if I'm going to cover it further on this channel. But yeah, so I know I've talked a lot about HRO, but it just seems super interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care. Please double and triple check all of your listings on VV so you don't screw yourself over. And I'll catch you guys next time.